Inside of Trade Locker, I'm going to show you how to take a sell or a buy position and how to place a stop loss on a take profit and how to move those so that when we are on a live trading session, you can follow along and trade with us. Okay, so first things first, this will look slightly different on the computer versus the phone. I'm on my phone right now. The functionality is the same. The screen will just look a little bit differently. Okay, but just let's go to the basics. So let's say we were going to take a sell position. Now on the chart, when you're following a live session, they are going to typically have either a short or a long box, and that's going to look something like this. Okay, so let's say, for sake of example, the educator was going to look for a sell or a short. Then the box would look like this, meaning anything in the red is obviously your zone, where if it goes past the top, that would be where your stop loss is, where you would exit the trade at a loss. Anything in the green is the profit zone. So at any point in time, your trade is in this green area. That means you're in profit. You can close your trade and take your profit. Okay. The line in between the green and the red is typically the area that you would want to enter, okay? So let's say hypothetically we were in a zone and he said he was looking to sell, then that means at any point in time right around this area, you would want to go ahead and enter this sell. So we're going to make sure that your lot size is correct. Lot size is going to be different depending on your size account. If we're trading US 30 and you're on a 10K account, I would not do anything larger than a 0.01 lot, to be honest with you. If you're on a 50K size account, you could do about a 0.05 or anything lower, 0.02, 0.03, 0.05, to give yourself some wiggle room without risking too much. On a 200K account, we'd want to keep it roughly at a 0.1 or lower. You could do like 0.05 to 0.1, somewhere in that vicinity. The more you trade and the more you're willing to risk and whatnot, you'll figure out what a good lot size is for you. These are just kind of estimate examples, okay? So then from there, you would place your sell, okay? I need to change my lot because I'm on a small size account right now, for example. All right, so let's say we're in the zone, right? We're somewhere between this enter point and this zone. That's great for a sell. We're going to go ahead. We checked our lots. Now we're going to click the sell button. Now we're in the trade, okay? From here, we want to set our stop loss. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click, not on the X, but just on my entry point here. And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to click SL for stop loss. On your phone, you can just grab it with your finger and drag it. So I would drag it to the top of my box, right? That's probably a little too big for me. You want ideally for your risk to be 0.25%, 0.5%, no more than 0.1%, but I would keep it between 0.25 and 0.5%. So I'm going to move it way down. But when you have it where you want it, you click confirm. Okay, so now I have my stop loss set. Now my take profit could be anywhere in this zone. Typically we want to shoot for a 1 to 2, which just means you want to make ideally double what you're risking. So if I'm risking 0.39%, then I want my profit to be double that, right? At least. So I'm going to click on here again, and I'm going to come down here and click TP for take profit. And same thing, I can drag it, right? So if I'm risking 0.39%, I would want to make somewhere around 0.8%. Let's just go with that. That's fine. When you have it where you want it, you're going to click confirm. Okay, so now we've entered the sell or the short position. We've placed our take profit and our stop loss. And so you can see we're in profit. The market price has moved below my entry point for the sell, which is what we want. It will either come down and hit my take profit and give me that money and take me out of the trade, or it will come up here and hit my stop loss. I will lose that amount and it'll take me out of the trade. At any point in time when I'm in profit, I can manually close and take my profit by just clicking that X, okay? Now, once we get to a 1-to-1, meaning we're in profit by roughly the amount that we were risking. So if we're risking, $33, you can see here, then when I'm about $33 in profit, I would do what we call move to break even. That just simply means I'm going to move my stop loss to my entry point. And here's how I would do that. You click on your entry, not the X, but your entry, and you just drag your stop loss to your entry point. You can give yourself a little wiggle room. I like to make sure I've got, at least a couple dollars to play with to make room for fees or slippage or anything like that. When you've got it where you want it, same thing, click confirm. Okay, so now my trade is risk-free, meaning if price comes back up, it's going to take me out, but I haven't lost anything. Okay, if it keeps going down lower, obviously I'm making more profit. If you move it to break even too soon, like before you get to a 1-to-1, then you could just potentially end your trade, before you have the chance to make a profit. But again, you're not losing any money. You're trading risk-free. So as you play around with it, the more that you trade, the more you'll find that sweet spot of what you personally like. I personally like to wait until my trade is at a 1-to-1 ratio, and then I move to break even. And if the trade takes me out, it takes me out. I haven't lost anything. There will be another trading opportunity the next day. You know what I mean? But at least then you're protecting your capital. And so that is the gist. That is the basics, you guys. Again, you can click on your trade at any point in time to move your take profit or your stop loss, okay, to where you want it, and then you'll just click confirm. On the desktop version, this setup is going to look a little differently. You're going to want to press the O button on your keyboard to open up the order panel here. And then you'll also see your trades at the bottom of the screen. You'll see these, and you can click the edit pencil and change your stop loss and take profit that way, and then confirm it. So play around, look at it on the phone and the desktop. Same functionality, just a slightly different look is all. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. If the educator is going to do a different, like let's say he wants to do a buy instead of a sell, then this box would look like this. Okay, it would be opposite. And if he said I'm looking to buy at this zone, then same thing, just in reverse, right? You would want to click the buy button instead of the sell button somewhere between this line and this line. Okay, you'd want your take profit area to be in here, and you'd want your stop loss to be at the bottom of the box, or where you are comfortable risking, right? Like right now, if I were to put my stop loss at the bottom or at the top, because I'm in a sell, so let's switch this up. If I were to put my stop loss at the top of the box, and the educator will adjust this, maybe the educator put it there, right? But if I moved my stop loss to the top where the educator has it, that would be, maybe too high of a risk for me. Maybe I don't want to risk that much. So you can always move it and adjust it to your liking. And wherever you have it when you like it, you just click confirm. Okay, but this box, this short box or long box, is your parameters that you are basing your trade off of. Okay, from there, make sure you have the right lot size, click the sell or the buy button to get in the trade, and then click on the trade itself to adjust and add the stop loss and take profit using these buttons down here, confirming when you have it where you want it, and then you're good to go. Okay. As this trade is playing out, I like to set an alert on my chart when it would be at a 1-to-1 so that I know when to move my stop loss to break even. So here's what I'm going to do. I know that I've entered at 714 and my stop loss is at 734. That's roughly 20 points. So a 1-to-1 would be 20 points in profit, which would be roughly at 694 down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press on my screen. I'm going to find 694, and I'm going to click that plus button and then set an alert. What that does is that gives me a visual where I can see. You can see this would be enough profit to equal what I'm willing to risk. So a 1-to-1 ratio. When price hits that, it will alert me. It'll send a pop-up alert, and that alert line will disappear. And that will be my signal to go ahead and move my stop loss to break even, meaning put my stop loss where I've entered the trade so that I'm now at a risk-free trade and I don't lose any money. Worst case scenario, I break even. I walk away with nothing. Nothing gained, nothing lost, okay? And that is pretty much that, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. And if you're not in our trading mentorship group yet or our academy yet and you want information, just type the word academy down below and I will send you some information. Happy trading. Okay, so when this trade did hit my one-to-one alert, I just clicked on my entry point and I moved my stop loss to break even, which means I set it kind of right at my entry point, and I confirmed, and then I just waited for the rest of the trade to play out risk-free. And this trade ended up hitting my take profit for a 1 to 2.